Hello, it's Tracy Daviero with your VA Mentor, and I want to welcome you to this week's edition of Back to Basics. Back to Basics is our weekly training series that focuses on one area of your business, one area, one aspect, one task, one goal, anything like that you can, we sort of break it down into the basics, wow, what a neat name for a series. And we break it down into the basics and just talk about, some tangible things that you can actually accomplish by actually focusing on one particular thing every week. So we do a little bit of training, a little bit of information, and then give you a little bit of homework, action plan, that type of thing, next steps at the end of the call. So welcome. I am glad to have you here. Today we are talking about getting started as a VA. When I do a lot of networking online and even in person and that kind of thing live. And one of the things that I notice with people who are getting started as a VA is that they've heard of the industry and they really don't know an awful lot about it, or, and this is even more common, that people have started and they've kind of been doing things, don't know if they're doing them in the right order, don't know what they're sort of should be focusing on, and have a lot of questions about that kind of thing. So I decided to do a call on getting started. Now, clearly I can't put absolutely everything into a training call, but I hope to be able to give you some really solid advice about, what you need to think of and what you need to do, and basically the order that you should be doing things in order to get your business off and running. And as I say, if you are in business, just be sure that you've done all of these things to the point you're at, and if not, it's super easy just to start over and get these things in place first. You're probably more than halfway there if you've already started your business. You're just missing some pieces. So, but you do want to have all of these things in place. So, without further ado, we will get started. So you want to be a VA. That's great. Why? And this is the most important question that you're going to have to ask yourself. Why do you want to be in business? Now, your why can be 8 things right now if you can think of it. I want you to take a piece of paper right now, and I want you to write it down. Why do you want to start a virtual assistant business, or why do you want to make yours work? Okay, and I'll refer back to that through the course of the call, simply because people are, a lot of people are not started, even though they feel like they've started. So I'll keep referring back to that. So I really do want you to write it down. What is it that you want to do, and why is it that you want to work from home? Is it that you want to be more available for your family? Do you want to replace an income? Do you want to save on daycare fees? Do you want to not ever have a boss again? That's mine. Okay, that's my big total. I want to be my boss. I don't want to have anybody else telling me what they want me to do anymore. So whatever it is that really is driving you to have a business, because here's the thing. You can have one of 2 things. You can have a hobby or you can have a business. And I hear business coaches say this all the time, and it actually kind of irritates me, but the premise behind it is really, really smart, that if you want a business, then you have to build it as a business. If you want to just make a little money on the side and, like I say, replace those daycare fees, or not pay them, I should say, by being able to just work afternoons and that kind of thing. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with whatever you decide, whatever business structure you decide to put in place. If you just want to work part-time and you just need to earn, $1,000 a month or something like that, if you don't have really high aspects, or what's that word I'm trying to think of, aspirations to be $1 million VA business owner, there's nothing wrong with that. Your business is your business, and I want you to think about why you want to run your business and how it's going to look for you. I've never wanted to be $1 million VA, absolutely guaranteed. Just not interested in it. I don't want to work that hard, for one thing. I want to make a good living. I know how much money I need to bring into my household, and I want to be able to build my business that way. So it is really important for you to recognize that right off the bat. So you want to be a VA. Why do you want to do it? Okay? Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter what type of business you're going to build, whether you're going to build a small business, medium-sized, large, or, enormous. If you're going to rule the world, you need to be a business owner. And this is the one biggest piece of advice that I give to people whenever I start to work with them, or when I'm giving them, advice on the forums and that kind of thing. You need to be a business owner, and a lot of people do not start here. They don't realize it. They just realize that they've got skills that they've used as an employee that they think people will pay them for. And it's not wrong. People will pay you for the skills that you know how to support them with. But it's very, very important that if you are going to be a VA, you are going to be a business owner, and you need to know things about business planning, strategy, all the money stuff, financial. You need to be in sales. You have to understand that you will need to sell yourself and your services, mainly yourself. Marketing, you're going to need to learn where your people are and how to best reach them. Money management, you need to be able to control expenses and do forecasting, revenue forecasting, those kinds of things. You need to have a certain understanding of technology, whether or not you're the one who's using it in your business. You need to be really good at people management. When you're working with clients who are, virtual and not your boss, and you have a lot of clients, you need to be able to manage all of those people so that they recognize that, you're looking after their support needs, but that you are actually not their employee. You are actually their, you're a business partner to them, really. So management of people is really important. Self-confidence is huge, and this is the one that I still come upon lots and lots with people. There's nothing wrong with not having the self-confidence in your business when you start, because you really just don't know what you're looking at, right? So, but it's something that you have to be able to possess or work on. Organization, you have to be very organized in order to manage multiple clients. There's no question, and to manage your own business and all the tasks that come with that. You need to understand that you'll need to invest in your business. Whether that means working, with a coach, or whether it means getting your own VA at some point, or whether it means, getting people to help you with the pieces of your business that you don't know how to do. Communication is always going to be the most important thing in your business. Actually, I think I just posted something on a forum yesterday about that. It's one of the leading things that causes issues in a virtual business relationship. And so these are things that you really need to be able to get a handle on. So, and you have to have the personality and the drive to do everything, okay, all of these things in order to succeed. Being a business owner is very, very different than, doing someone's client care for them over the phone, right? The tasks that you do in your business are almost irrelevant to the fact that you are a business owner at whatever level you're going to be at. And so it's really, really important to know that that's kind of secondary, that your business is going to be your business, and you need to treat it as such in order to have the success that you want and to be able to make the rules that you want, really. If you are one of those people who only wants to work part-time, you still need to be able to build all the things that you need in place and be able to articulate those things to people who are going to be hiring you or working with you for your services. And so the one key about all of these things in this list, okay, is that you need to be able to do all of them, or you need to understand that you have to get help where you need it in any of those areas, okay? So there you go. That's my massive soapbox moment, but it is really, really true. And if you understand that these are the things that you need to do in order to be a business owner, you're already halfway there. Okay? The work part is just the fun part. So questions to ask yourself. Are you motivated? Can you keep yourself on task, or do you allow yourself to get easily distracted? Sometimes people, who are working from home because they want to, provide more for their family and that kind of thing, they get to the point where they put the family first. And unfortunately, the business is not going to survive when you continually put the business first, or the family first. Not to say that you can't put your family first, but you have to do it in such a way that the business is still supported. Your business will always be about your customer. With no customers, you have no business. And then what happens is you don't have that money that you want for your big why, and you have to go back and take a job, which is the worst thing in the world when you've already decided that you don't want to do that. So it's exceedingly important that you build the business and fit the family in where it's supposed to, build the policies and all that kinds of thing around it, and build a type of business that you want in order to support whatever it is your why. So I want you to go back to that why and really hone in on it, really think about it, and realize what is the most important part of it. Being there for your family is kind of arbitrary. So what you want to be able to do is really drill that down and really think about that in more tangible things. How does your business help you do that? And go from there. Okay? So then I'll just jump right into how to set up a business. These are the steps that you need to take to set up your business. And this is a huge question I get asked all the time. I have no idea where to start. Here's where you start. Register your business with the government. Get any licenses you need, or register for your tax setup as needed. I know in Canada we need to set up for our HST, which is one of our taxes that we do. You want to be able to have all of that stuff in place so that you understand what type of business you have. Most of us here in Canada are solopreneurs or sole proprietors, pardon me. And, I think in the States you're limited liability. So there are lots of different things that you need to do. Just go and research it and determine what it is that you're doing and get yourself set up that way. Next up is do your business plan before everything else. Everything. Start to really map out your business. Again, whichever way you want to put it together is entirely up to you, but do your business plan first. Decide on your services, and this will come from your business plan as well. You need to think about what it is you can sell people. What is it that you can do for them that they will pay you for? More important than anything else is to determine what that is, okay? And after you know what your services are, then you need to define your customers. Who can you support with the services that you know how to provide? Who can you support? Who can you best support? So look for industries that use the type of services that you can provide, and really look for a big pocket of people, a big market of people that you can connect with and network with. And then after these two steps, that's when you price your services. Okay, you can't price things until you know what industry you're going to serve. So decide your services, then determine who best can use those services, and then package or price your services accordingly for that market, for those specific people, okay? It's a whole lot easier to do it in that order than, a lot of people I know, and I mean, I did all this too, I did all of this. You have to understand, I'm one of those people that has made so many mistakes. That's why I love coaching, because I love to be able to tell you, oh God, don't do that, because I did that and that was the biggest mistake, a huge mistake. So you want to be able to decide the services, define the customers, and then price the services, because it's going to be the way that makes most sense. And then all you have to do after that, and it really is as simple as this, is connect with your potential clients, because you understand what services, you understand your rates, and you're going to understand a lot about your market as well. Now that's as in a nutshell as I can put it, because there are so many other things that are involved, right? But really it's as simple as that. Determine what you can do, determine who you can do it for, how much you can charge them for it based on, what their market will allow, and then go and find them. It's really as simple as that. But then here's what I get the question next. Wait, what about my website? And that's the biggest thing. People start with, I'm going to charge $25 an hour, and here's my website. And these are the million things that I know how to do. It's really, really essential. Marketing comes last in this process. You see on this previous slide, I didn't even mention marketing, and it's absolutely true. You don't even need to market if you're actually speaking with people directly. I mean, that's a form of marketing. But once you start to connect with people like this, okay, that's all the marketing you'll ever need, is actually to talk to people in person. But here we go. You have to do the work to determine where your money is going to come from and from whom before you ever think about getting the business cards, the logo, website. So many people start the logo. They start with all the pretty things, and then they wonder why it takes them so long to get their first client. You must determine what you can do, who you can do it for, and how much it's going to cost. Those are the three essential pieces. I think I've said that a few times already on this call, so if you're not following it by now, you'll realize that it is. So the marketing part is the fun part, honestly. And, by the time you get to do your website, if you have those answers, you know the market you're going to serve, and you know how much you're going to cost, how much you're going to charge for things, your website's a piece of cake just to get done after that, because you already have all the answers. When you get to your website, if you start there, okay, which is where a lot of people start because they think, oh, I'm virtual, I need a website. And it is true, you need a website presence. but not in the order that most people think. And so when you sit down and you say, well, I'm starting my website, and you start to look at all the content on the pages and you really don't know what to put there, it's because you haven't done the preparation for your business, okay? I hope that makes sense, because what you want to do is you want to be able to go through the process, know everything, know who you're talking to, is particularly in marketing. I mean, who you're talking to and what you want to say to them. And without making all those other decisions, you won't have that content in terms of what you want to say to people. And so then once you've done all of that work, that's when you immediately get your business cards. And if that means a logo, that's fine. But I mean, you're not going to kill yourself on a logo, because frankly, you're not going to get 1 million people coming to your website the moment you put it up. And you're not going to get 1 million people requesting your business card the moment that you've gotten them printed. So you know what? I had about 5 variations of my business card before I ever settled on the one that I'm on now. And it's even not, it's not terribly fancy. But the idea is try not to get too put up in the pretty stuff, okay? It's really more important to bring clients in the door, because if you have a full client base, you can change your business cards and your brand anytime you want to. So I think it's really, really important not to start there, okay? And so that's what you want to do. You want to start working on your website after you have all the answers, and then go from there. These are the things that you actually need to start your business. You obviously need a computer of some kind. You need internet access. You need a business phone of some kind, because you are going to be able to, you do need to get in touch with people and that kind of thing. Software and hardware, you need whatever is required for the services that you offer. I know a lot of people will ask me, well, what kind of software do I need to get started? Well, my first question is, what do you do? Do you need, Microsoft Office? Maybe. Do you need, what's the thing I'm trying to think of? The graphics thing there. The one that everybody uses. Anyway, goodness, what's it called? Photoshop, heavens. So do you need Photoshop? Do you need a project management system? Do you need a time tracker? What are all the things that you need? You're not going to know those until you determine what the services are. I use an awful lot of software in my business, because there are a lot of different things that I do. But a lot of people will, ask me what things they need to do to get started. And the very first question has to be, what services do you offer? You don't need anything before you need it. If that makes any sense at all. You don't need to go and learn how to do something. You don't need to go and find something that people are talking about. You don't need anything unless you use it to produce the tasks or the services that you're going to offer in your business. Really, really, really important, okay? Task management system, you absolutely need this. It does not have to be a project management system. You don't have to all of a sudden get into something, but you do need to start from square one. How am I going to manage my tasks? And you may start off with a piece of paper and a pen, and that's fine, because you're not doing a whole lot of things. And I've seen a lot of people suggest, or I've seen some people suggest that, well, you may as well start with a project management system now, because you're going to need it when you start working with clients. And I'm wholeheartedly against that. I absolutely think that you don't need to pay for anything or set anything up until you need it. And so until you know who your clients are and how you're going to work with them, I'm not even sure how you would make decisions about that kind of thing. So it's my opinion, right or wrong, that all you need is a way to manage your tasks and then grow with it as your business starts to grow. You definitely need a contract. If you don't have a contract for people in place right now, make sure you get one. There's no reason whatsoever to work with somebody until they've signed a contract with you. Do not forget you're a business owner, and you need to protect yourself, and you need to make things really clear for your clients about how it is that they're going to work with you, because some people will have questions, and lots of people I know have, gotten burned with payment and that kind of thing before. So you really want to make sure that you have those things ironed out and you have a contract that will help to protect you. You want to have an online payment option. It's the simplest way to be able to get people to pay you. There's nothing wrong with taking cash or check or whatever it is that you want to if you have local clients. I certainly do. I still have a client that pays me by check all the time, but I've been working with them for 6 years, so it makes perfect sense. But you do want to be able to have an online payment option like PayPal to start is always very good. That's all I still use in my business. I still have people pay me via credit card with PayPal, and it just makes things really easy for me. So you want to have some sort of online payment option. So look into the various ones that are out there and ask questions and get something set up so that when you do sign that first client, because if you get all your pieces in place, you could have a client tomorrow. Really, it could be that quick. So you want to make sure that you have all of your back-end stuff set up. And then the other thing you need to start your business is connections. You need to start connecting with people, to clients, potential clients, colleagues, and strategic partners. And strategic partners are the people who can help you get business, right? So people maybe who serve the same market as you but don't provide the same services as you, or people who are, in business groups, referral groups, and that kind of thing. Anybody who can help you get a client is a strategic partner. And those are all the things you need to start your business. It is as simple as that, okay? And so when you're looking for that list, how do I get going, this is the list that I would suggest you refer to, because really it is, you can have your business open in 15 minutes. There's absolutely no question. And then afterwards, then you start to build things like policies and procedures. Then you put your marketing strategy and plan in place. And then you can get some training. I can't stress enough that you should start with where you are. I know a lot of VAs who reach out and say, well, I'm just getting started. I'm kind of a generalist, and I just offer general admin services, but I'm taking a WordPress course because I really want to teach people, or I really want to build WordPress websites. So here they are putting themselves years and years behind, or months and weeks behind, of getting their business actually off the ground by thinking that they can't start with where they are. And this is the number one mistake I probably see VAs make, is just trying to minimize what it is that they already know how to do. And so therefore their business doesn't get off the ground. So I want you to think about this. If you're a generalist, or if you think that you can't really just be someone's virtual EA, if you want to call it that, if you think that you can't do that, think about the things, and this is just the starting point of your thought process. Think about the things that small business owners need support within their business, okay? What does everybody need help with? They need help with admin. Every single small business owner. Some of them don't need social media help, and some of them don't even need bookkeeping help. They should, but some people don't. Some people don't need help, booking their speaking engagements if they go out and they do speaking and that kind of thing. Some people don't need help with documentation because that's something that they've already got in place and that kind of thing. But absolutely everybody needs admin support. Okay, they need someone to manage their appointments, their calendars, their clients, all those kinds of things. Absolutely every small business owner needs those things, because if they are spending time doing those things in their day, that's time that they're not meeting potential clients or working with their existing clients, which are the two revenue-generating activities that they should be concentrating on in their business to be successful or to grow as much as they can. So when you think about it, every single small business owner needs someone who supports them as a generalist. So to think that it's not a specialized area is actually really shooting yourself in the foot. So there's nothing wrong with getting training, but get training on a plan and make sure that you say, by this time next year, I'd really love to be doing WordPress websites for someone. But you don't need to hold off starting your business doing that, because you have a very, very marketable skill. Going back to our why. Why are you starting this business? Because you have all these skills and you want to work from home for whatever reason. Okay? So this is where you need to go back to it and realize, what do I know how to do? Gee, I know how to do a whole lot of stuff. Okay? So that's it. As I say, I can't possibly cover everything, but I really hope I've glossed over enough of the things and given you enough detail that you really do understand how to get started. And so your homework is very simple. If you don't have a business plan, do one. That is, that's not something that you can get done in a day, although you can. I mean, one-page business plans are super easy. But it will help you get that thought process of what you need to think about. And those are the three things I was talking about earlier that are the most important things to decide. Determine your services. Really determine your services. What can you do, and what do people need? And then think about, if all the things you know how to do, what kind of customers need those? What kind of industries? And narrow that down so that you can find a group of people who really does need those services. If you belong to a networking group like the BNI or something like that, and you have 20 people at the table with you, you can use those people as a super target market, and you can just say, you know what do these people need, and what could I provide services to each of them for? And there's a little niche right there. It's just local business owners, small business owners. You don't have to think about things in large terms. What does each of these people need support with? And maybe there are a few people in the group who don't, but it's a really simple way to think about, customers not from an industry standpoint, but as a group of people who you can serve. And then price your service offerings. Your business plan will help you to do all of those things. Determine your services, identify your customers, and price your service offerings. And once you have that, you are in business, and you can just move on from there. And, there are a lot of decisions that you'll make over your business life, but the quickest way to get started is to do these 3 things and write them down in your business plan and hold yourself accountable to them and really do the thought process behind them, and get some help with it if you don't know how to do that kind of thing. As you start to write things down, you'll realize what it is you don't know. Learn the things that you don't know. Okay, if we go back to that slide that shows us all the things you need to know, really learn about what you don't know. It's not that challenging sometimes. There's lots of free courses online and lots of ways to learn things. But also think about where you may need to get support if you can't handle some of the things on this particular list. Money management and those kinds of things. If you need some help to get those things done, then make sure you do that, and you will be off and running before long. So I thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate it. Always appreciate your time for sure. If you want to know more about getting started as a VA, you can check out my website at yourvamentor.com. And if you want to know what's going on with me, you can check out my blog and my events page. And on my events page, you will see my self-study Getting Started as a VA program, which will take you through a whole lot more detail, 8 full lessons, as a matter of fact, of all the things we talked about today. Thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you have a terrific week. Bye.